like that. We're live. And we're live. What's that? We don't know. Fred search. What? We're not watching no nonsense. But how's everybody doing on this amazing day, March 9th? Hope everybody's having a great day, great week, ready to crush it. Yeah. Weather is beautiful, as it has been the last couple of days. Yeah. It's another amazing day to be alive, basically. But all right, let's get right into it. Am I overreacting? My girlfriend, 30 years old, of 5 months, is jealous of my. Oh, actually, I had a question. And oh, too bad nobody's here in chat yet. Maybe if Kate shows up or yeah, RPMS. But yeah, I guess I'll ask that question if somebody comes up. But anyways, am I overreacting? My girlfriend, 30-year-old female of 5 months, is jealous of my 3-year-old and 2-year-old daughter. I'm going to keep this brief as she thinks this is some form of normal. I, 25-year-old male, met my significant other, 30-year-old female, around 5 months ago. Things have been beautiful. She respects me, does this as much for me as I do for her, and overall seemed to have a tight grip on her emotional regulation. Around 2 months ago, no, not today, Satan. Around 2 months ago, my children's mother got herself arrested on absolutely terrible charges, and my daughters were placed under my custody full time. This was wonderful, as their safety and well-being are my highest priority. I'll get to the point. A few weeks ago, my daughter, 3 years old, couldn't sleep, so she came to bed with us. My girlfriend, 30 years old, immediately gets up and storms. Peter, yeah, it's too many. Yeah, sounds like not my problem. Let's go for something newer. How can I, 25-year-old, get more comfortable? Yeah, I don't know. Barely even met a girl on vacation. She's all I've been able to think about for days. Wow. Background, me, 18-year-old male. My mom works for a sports team, and they required her to fly out to Arizona for a work trip. The timing all matched up well with me and my siblings' school schedule because it would be on the weekend, and my dad freed up his schedule too. We stayed at this super nice resort for 3 days. The first and second day were just normal, and I was just enjoying the sun all day because I'm from a colder state. But the third day was the only day I actually went to the pool. At the pool, it started out as a really casual and normal pool day. I never got in below my waist and would most of the time just sit along the edge. There was a group of girls that had showed up at some time while I was there, but this is a big pool area with multiple entrances, so I never saw them enter. One of them was a blonde, pretty decent looking. The other was brunette. Who gives a fuck about descriptions? Okay, a couple of girls. So I assumed it occurred intentionally. And the last friend was brunette. All right, bro. What happened? His heart got broken. I waved and walked. And yeah, all right. No, I'm not reading this 18-year-old kid's fucking heartbreak from a girl that he met yesterday. Am I overreacting for telling my stepdad he should quit his job after his workplace treated him? Probably not, but we'll tell you. We'll tell you exactly what you should do. And I just realized I'm reading off the wrong screen, so I probably look crazy. I should be reading off this screen. So I'm looking at you guys, not off that screen. Let me fix it. I just shut my computer down for 10 minutes and literally unplugged the charging cable, shut down all the monitors, and let it sit for 10 minutes because it was getting laggy. And I fired it back up, and it's like brand new. Not just a regular restart. Power everything down, let everything power drain, power cycle or whatever. And let any remaining power drain out. And the monitors too, you gotta disconnect those. So. Well, you probably don't, but that's what I did. And yeah, let's get back to reading. My stepdad has been working at an adult education center for about 6 years. Oh yeah, I forgot to do what I was gonna do. I want to make sure that that's why I was stalling, that the YouTube chat was up, because last time I was accused of ignoring the chat by people, and I was not ignoring the chat. Yeah, now that I'm not ignoring it, of course, there's nobody that wants, especially this particular person is not here. Okay, we're good though. My stepdad has been working at an adult education center for about 6 years in their tech department. His job is basically IT plus programming. He built a lot of the systems they use to store and analyze data and wrote a bunch of programs that help the school run smoothly. Some background about the environment. The old boss he worked under was awful. I actually worked at the same school for a while, so I saw it firsthand. The guy was extremely sexist and racist. My stepdad is African, and this boss would make weird comments like, "I didn't know you guys were smart. We're so smart." And other stereotypical jokes. My stepdad tried to report it to HR, but the HR lady literally told him they shouldn't report it because she wouldn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. For context, the HR lady is honestly one of the most incompetent people I've ever met. She doesn't even have an HR background. She has, hey, this is, all right, this feels like AI. What's up with these big, that's, clear sign of AI. What's going on here? Is that the only one? I mean, we'll keep reading. She was a secretary somewhere and got the job through a friend. She very much acts like an HR exists to protect the company, not the employees. Well, it kind of does. Human resources, if you think about it, you're a resource to the company. So you're one of its resources. It manages you. So it's definitely, HR is there for the, I'm not sure how you understand HR, but it's obviously there for the company. These benefit while portraying employee backing. Does that make sense, or does that not make any sense? I am not sure how you understand HR, but it's obviously there for the company's benefit while portraying employee backing. Oh, I don't know if she's going to understand what that means. That might be too many words in one sentence. All right, let me finish reading what she was saying, though. For context, okay, recently a bunch of people at this school got fired, including me, that left my stepdad basically handling all the tech responsibilities by himself. He's the only one who understands most of the systems and code that the school runs on. Because of the extra workload, he recently asked his direct boss about getting raised. The boss said they would review the budget and discuss it at his upcoming performance review. But then the HR lady called him into, there's a lot more this lady's not telling us, the writer. Sorry, I was off screen. There's a lot more she's not telling us for sure, because it sounds like you have all kind of weird relationship. Like you used to work there, your dad works there, but then the HR lady called him into a meeting and told him she was upset that he asked his boss instead of going to her first. She then basically told him he won't be getting a raise and said that nobody asked him to do all the extra work anyway and that it isn't technically in his contract. The crazy part is that there's literally nobody else there who can do what he does. He's basically the only IT person supporting both the adult education and the high school career program. I hate to break the news to you, but I'm sure they can figure it out. Like maybe, the current system they're using, but if something happens to him, I promise you they'll figure it out. When we were talking about it recently, I told him I think loyalty to this place is stupid at this point. After 6 years of work and basically building a lot of their systems, they're treating him like he's disposable. Exactly, because he is. She's so dumb. She's like appalled by this. Oh my God. I told him he should seriously consider quitting and finding a better job. He thinks he shouldn't leave because school relies heavily on him and things would probably fall apart if he did. He just thinks he's that important. He's not that fucking important. For more context, I had a similar experience there. I worked as a registrar and ended up restructuring a lot of their systems because everything was insanely inefficient, still done on paper. My bosses even approved the changes I proposed. When I asked about compensation for the extra work, they told me they would discuss it. Yeah, the day of that review, they fired me instead. Yeah, they come in and try to change their systems. Like, they have systems. People don't understand. Sometimes when you, like, enter an organization or get introduced in any kind of organization, a team, anything, and they already have like systems in place, right? And then you come in there, even a job, right? You get a job, and they teach you the way let's say this place has been open for 40 years, and they teach you the way they do things, right? And then you're like, well, I think this can be better because this. You don't think after 40 years those people have thought that already? And you don't think that there's a reason they do things the way they do? I've actually had this conversation with people recently. Usually, like, even though it might not seem right or you might not agree with it, if you come into somebody else's organization and you try to tell them like what they're doing, and how to do it right, usually it's not gonna go in your favor unless like, your family or something, and they got no choice but to deal with you, I guess. But yeah. I'm getting notifications. I bet you it's about it being too new of an account. Let's see what the hell they want. Oh, comment was removed. Your account is too new. Still too new. What the hell? How long is it going to be too new? But over here, I guess sorry, this post was deleted. Oh no, this one wasn't. Yeah, well, upvotes don't mean there's no shit. That's no. So, and we can reply, am I overreacting? Not a relationship advice. Got it. Understood. Clear as day. Oh, right. Like here. When we were talking about it recently, I told him I think loyalty, yep. He thinks he shouldn't leave because, the school definitely does not rely on him. For context, I had a similar experience. Yep, registrar, blah, blah, blah. You got fired in your review day. And after I left, I heard everything in the department basically went to chaos. So now I'm wondering if I'm being too harsh. Am I reacting for telling my stepdad he should just leave and tell them deal with the consequences? I'm not sure how you send HR, but it's obviously there for the company's benefit while training employee backing. Yes, they will be fine. They will be fine. If your dad leaves, it might take them some time to. It might make them scramble and no. Yes, they will be fine if your dad leaves. It might be a hiccup, but I promise the school will continue to operate. The school will continue to operate. The school continue to operate. So I'm not sure how you understand HR, but it's obviously there for the companies, even in the schools, like in a school setting. Yeah, yeah, it's always going to be for the company, for the school, for companies benefit while portraying employee backing. Yes, they will be fine if your dad they're how about this? They're treating your dad. They're treating your dad as he's replaceable. Is that what you call him? Disposable. Building a lot of their systems. Boom, boom. Right, treating him like he's disposable. If they're treating your dad as he's disposable. Not because he's irreplaceable, like he thinks. Replaceable. As he thinks. Like he thinks. Like he thinks. They're treating your dad as he's disposable. Not because he's irreplaceable as he thinks. Things. It depends on if the real question is, how do they treat your dad? Question is there's this is a multi-layer question. The real question is, how do they treat your dad? Does he like his job? Your dad. One, does he like his jobs? Does he like his job? Two, there was another one. Does he like his job? How do they treat your dad? Damn. All right, but the real question is, how do they treat your dad? Does he like your job? Yep. Oh yeah, and is compensation fair for his work? Is compensation fair for his labor? If yes to then it leaves. Yeah, we could delete all that. So I'm not sure how you understand HR, but it's obviously there for the company's benefit while portraying employee backing. They're treating your dad as he's disposable, not because he's irreplaceable as he thinks. Is that for a reason? They're treating your dad as he is disposable for a reason. And it's not because he's irreplaceable as he thinks. The real question is, I know that doesn't really make sense, kind of, because that wouldn't be a reason. Him thinking he's irreplaceable, I get it, but whatever, we're going with it. And I messed that up. One second. Show as tab. Oh. Whoa, Nelly. But yeah, I do have a question for either Kate or RPMS or whoever. Anybody that stops by. Oh, I need to check my Rumble chat too. That's one thing I haven't been doing at all. Oh, sorry. Doing other things. All right. Obviously stream related, but we got to post this comment. There we go. Yeah. Let's go save another life. Okay, relationship advice. We got to mute for a couple of days because... Yes, mute. We're too new to post in there, they say. So let's refresh. And it should be gone, right? Looks to be gone. New, perfect. For thinking my sisters are reacting about the neighbors making too much noise. Oh, this is a good one. Wow, this is crazy. Yo, AI is crazy. It's crazy how... This is literally what I want to ask about and talk about. But, so relevant. That's crazy. So, I live with my sister, and she constantly gets upset about how noisy it sounds when the upstairs neighbors are walking around. I've heard the creaking, and based on the sound, I'm pretty sure they're just walking. It's definitely not running. Having lived on the top floor of the same apartment complex before, I know for a fact that there are certain spots on the floor that can sound much louder than others. So I don't think they're intentionally being disruptive. This morning, she mentioned she heard the creaking again and said it was irritating her. She even told me she was going to use a broom to the ceiling, which I think is completely childish and unnecessary. I've definitely thrown something at the ceiling before when a lot of noise was coming at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. in the morning from upstairs, for sure. I know for a fact that there are certain spots on, yeah, this morning, blah, blah. We could simply, completely, all right, there are much more mature and effective ways to handle a situation. We could simply talk to them the next time we see them and have a respectful conversation. Or if it's truly a serious issue, we could submit an email to the leasing office and let them mediate. What concerns me is that she tends to jump to reactive and problematic solutions rather than thinking things through. Yeah, that's the whole thing about react or think, or do you think or react? Also, yeah, pain of regret or pain of discipline. That's still coming. We ain't talk about it yet. But what concerns me is that she does all this crazy stuff. Okay, then especially stands out is that this especially stands out to me considering that her dog stays with us sometimes. You do see it. Where am I? And he barks pretty loudly during the day. On top of that, she once brought my mom's dog over, and she brought over your mom's dog? What the hell? This is your friend? Your roommate? On top of that, she once brought over my mom's dog over. Hold on, yeah. Your roommate brought your mom's dog over? Why does that? It sounds like you're shifting blame. Like it's your mom's fucking dog. How are you blaming your roommate for your mom's dog being there? That's such a weird thing to say. I mean, I guess I understand, but okay. He barked for nearly an hour. On top of that, she once straight around 2 a.m. because she had left him in his crate. She didn't want to have an accident in her room. I had to step in and suggest that he stay in my room so he wouldn't keep barking because I could actually hear the neighbors moving around in response to the noise. Despite all of that, our neighbors never once complained or said a word to us. That kind of patience, my ex used to have a dog that would go, little white dog. That shit would be bark. It must have been barking for hours. I don't know. I hope, but he actually would quit after a while. He would bark for like, I would say maybe 2 minutes, and then he would quiet up. She didn't want him to have an accident in her room. He didn't have the energy to keep going. I had to step in and suggest that he stay in my room so he wouldn't keep barking, because I could actually hear it. Right. That kind of patience. Despite all of that, our neighbors never once complained, right? That kind of patience and understanding is exactly why I've always maintained a peaceful relationship with them. And I don't want to change that. Barking around that time hasn't happened again. I don't want my sister to think I'm being dismissive of her frustration. If the neighbors are generally making noise in the middle of the night, I think that's completely fair and reasonable complaint, but worth addressing. However, when the noise is happening in the middle of the day, that's a different story entirely. People are entitled to move around in their own home during normal hours. And what she's learning is most likely just the natural sounds I've heard of it, and someone walking across a floor with sensitive spots and something we contribute. Yeah, it sounds like if she's literally spazzing over them walking. But yeah, I guess that's the roommate question is, it's last. That could be last. Yeah, if she's having, I was going to say spazzing, but people don't understand English sometimes. Yes, if she's having issues with them just walking, she might have no, I don't want to diagnose anybody or anything. Yeah, if she's having issues with them just walking, that's a bit much. But however, it does suck having heavy-footed neighbors, because there's a difference in how you walk. I can walk and make very little noise, and I can also walk and make a lot of noise, just and not change much, just in how much you step in your heel. You guys know what I'm talking about. Um, you can walk and yeah. So, and it's kind of obvious, like when people are just, if people are conscious of the noise they're making, they try to keep it down because, a certain amount of noise you can't avoid, and that's expected. That's normal. You can't avoid walking around and making noise, You can't expect people not to walk around. But, like, if you're fucking jumping, playing basketball and shit, for 3 hours straight, like, yeah, it's, especially in the middle of the night. I mean, during the day, it's whatever. I play my music loud during the day, sometimes pretty late in the evening, but on a Friday or Saturday, but not that loud, actually. Maybe. Like, one of my neighbors could hear it, like probably straight upstairs or downstairs, but yeah. Or Saturdays when I'm cleaning, Sundays. On top of that, she once brought my mom's dog over. Yeah. What? What was the person? And your roommate brought your mom's dog over. What was the purpose of that? The purpose of that, to have her in the crate? To have her in the crate. What is going on? All right, saved another life. Am I overreacting for saying forget about the soup? Not the fucking soup. Oh my God. I, 33-year-old female, have been sick all weekend after working a 50-plus hour week. Despite feeling like shit, I spent my weekend cleaning and painting, packing as my boyfriend, 35-year-old male, and I are planning to list our house for sale soon. Because I worked until at least 6 every night, the house was a mess and giving me anxiety, so I couldn't rest in the mess. I really think I overdid because I felt way worse last night this morning. Let me help y'all out, sorry. Apologize. Last night, I made a grocery pickup order with 2 of my favorite soups and some fruit, juice, etc. So I have some easy things to eat. My boyfriend picked it up this morning on his way home. He put it away, which I appreciate. He offered to make me soup while I was laying in bed, and I accepted. He couldn't find the soup. I explained it was in the order he just put away. He still couldn't find it, so I got out of bed to verify everything I ordered made it in the pantry. To the pantry. We located the soup. I noticed the pot he set out on the stove was the pot I have explicitly told him is no longer safe to use for food. So why the fuck do you still have it in your kitchen if it's not safe for food? It's non-stick with lots of scratches and I kept it to use for crafting. Well, why didn't you put it in your crafting supplies? I have told him this multiple times. I was annoyed at this point and said, just forget it. He is now upset because I'm being ungrateful. I am irritated because I had to come help find the soup and discover he was going to make me soup in a fucking craft pot. In a non-food safe pot. Why the fuck do you have it with your other pots? He claims I didn't have to get out of bed, but he could not find the soup on his own despite having just put the groceries away. If I hadn't gotten up, I would have unknowingly eaten soup cooked in the pot. The ETA, the pot has been removed from the kitchen. Yes, thank you. What the fuck is ETA, though? Estimated time of arrival, the pot has been... Yes, everyone the asshole. Yes, why was the pot in the freaking kitchen? Look, I'm doing good, not cursing. Kitchen. And he would have eventually found the soup. And he would have eventually found the soup. Had it not been for your impatient ass. Patient ass. Okay, saved another life. On to the next one. Am I overreacting? Girlfriend got mad at me for not celebrating Women's Day. Oh, Vasmova Marta. Vasmova Marta is a big day. It's important. You gotta celebrate Wismova Marta. It's a International Women's Day, March 8th. So depends where you live. That's actually really what matters. If it's in America, yeah, she's. It depend. Actually, it depends where she's from. Been with my girlfriend for a little over a year now. Lots of ups and downs. So this is really what all I need to know. So we were just sitting on the couch and she searched on her phone that it's Women's Day. Oh, okay. That's the only reason she knew. I did something dumb and asked her when Mother's Day was because I realized I didn't get my mom a present in like the last 2-3 years. Anyway, she got mad at that and said, not even a wish. And I gave her a half-hearted wish. Anyway, I realized my mistake and apologized because she started crying. I asked her what the significance of Women's Day was, and she said, "We'll do. I have to do all the work and research," and later on played it off as, "I can't tell you everything." After I went and looked it up, she said things like, "So many boyfriends are doing things for their girlfriends today," while she was looking at an Instagram reel of literally a guy hoarding this girl with gifts and morning hugs and decorations. Yeah, they do need to get off social media. What the fuck is going on? Considering she has never brought it up before, but apparently it's an important day to her, while also considering she got me nothing for Valentine's the last 2 years. Not even a small gesture. Is it wrong for me to expect that as a guy? And also actively saying she would never celebrate Men's Day because men don't deserve a day to themselves. All this meant I just couldn't care less. She sounds horrible, bro. She sounds terrible, bro. She sounds terrible, my friend. Wow. Let's keep reading. Considering she has never bought it before, but apparently it's important. Yeah. Anyway, she sent me another reel about how only toxic men bring up Men's Day on Women's Day when that wasn't even the point. And if I bring up Valentine's Day thing with her and point out hypocrisy, it's like, well, look at who's keeping score. She can't take accountability for any of her actions. Example given, she pulled me by the neck while arguing with me, and I asked her not to do that, and she started crying, saying, "Okay, you win. That's what you wanted, right?" Sometimes I feel like I'm the one who's losing my mind, who's losing his mind. Apparently, I did not listen to her, but actually, yesterday when this fight happened, even after everything was said and done, I told her that I'm sorry, that I didn't know it was an important day for her, and that I'll know for next time. Fast forward to today, now she has decided that I'm a toxic boyfriend, her words, and wants space from me. I told her I'm crying, and she said cool in return, so I kind of regret that. I really do like this girl and envision a future with her, but it feels like I'm losing myself in some way. I don't know where I'm going wrong and why the goalposts keep moving. Did I overreact by not giving... She's for the streets, bro. Did I overreact by not giving too much thought to the holiday that I thought she also didn't care about? Considering we didn't celebrate this time last year, it never came up. Right, she doesn't. So, my friend, if she was European or from somewhere where that holiday is celebrated, I could understand. Celebrate it, but still, to be showered with gifts, I mean, just to at least be like, I mean, yeah, I guess for your girlfriend, you get her flowers on March 8th. So March 8th is like, in Russia, it would be like Valentine's Day because they don't have Valentine's Day in Russia. I wonder, do they have Valentine's Day in Russia now? Let's all find out together. Do they have Valentine's Day in Russia? Yes, Valentine. What? Since when? Primarily by younger generations and in urban areas, right? Having become popular after the collapse of the Soviet Union. Right. I'm from pre-Soviet collapse, Soviet Union. While not a public holiday, it's a popular... Right, it's not a public holiday still, see? It is a popular day. Right, it's... the commerce industry made it a holiday. They're like, yeah, Valentine's Day, everybody, Valentine's Day. Look, even Putin got flowers. Everybody got flowers. Did I overreact by not giving much thought to a holiday that I thought she also... No, man, she's terrible. She sounds terrible, my friend. If she was a European or from somewhere where that holiday is celebrated, it would be a little different. But even then, with all the other stuff you mentioned about her, it seems like you are being used. Not used, but yeah, I mean, used and abused. she could have at least got you a card. I guess, right? Could have. Card or something. If it's important to you, if it's something else, something you guys celebrate, I don't know how it works in America with Valentine's. Does men get card? Somebody replied. Okay, my mom went on vacation. Okay, let's see. Yes, if she's having issues with them just walking, that's a bit much. However, it does suck having heavy-footed. I'm slow, heavy-footed. Your roommate brought your mom's dog over. What was the purpose of that? To have her in the crate? My mom went on vacation. I've taken care of her dog before, and he doesn't. So it was your dog, right? It was coming over for you, and he doesn't bark that much. But since she had him in her room to sleep, she put him in his crate since he wasn't potty trained. I'm thinking probably so he won't have accidents, which I have floor. So it's still the dog was there for you because it was your fucking mom's dog. So don't blame it on your fucking roommate. Is my point. My mom went on vacation, and I've taken care of her dog before. And he doesn't bark that much. But since she had him in her room to sleep, she put him in his crate since he wasn't potty trained. I'm thinking probably so he won't have accidents, which I have floor, and I also gave her diapers for him. He was barking nonstop. Why did she have your fucking dog? It was your mom's dog. It's not her fault. Yeah, I would have put his ass in the crate too. He was barking nonstop. The only reason she took him out of the crate was because I told her it's too late for him to be barking and that he can come in my room if she doesn't want him roaming around. Yes, exactly. No shit. Also got because she wanted to buy the treadmill. Why the hell wasn't your mom? Why the heck wasn't your mom's dog in your room to begin with? In your room to begin with. Hell, well, I mean, it depends. I don't know what kind of dog it is, but we'll just leave it at that. If you get some kind of gnarly dog, they're like, yeah, here, take care of this in your room. Let him roam around. Fuck no. That shit's going in the crate or in the chokehold. Why the heck wasn't your mom's dog in your room to begin with? Why? I'm just so confused. That's all I need to know. Would use until my mom's dog peed on it. Yeah, all this problems because you don't have your fucking mom's dog in your room. Freaking. I also got irritable with her because I'm getting irritable with you. She wanted to buy my treadmill and took it in her room, would use it until my mom's dog peed on it. She brought it back. I should tell her Dmitriy questions on YouTube. Doesn't like what you say. He doesn't like your responses. All right, come holler at me. Come talk to me in YouTube chat. Edit this. No, that sounds crazy, creepy. Come talk to me in YouTube chat. Ask your questions. Wait. Ask if you're overreacting. Overreacting. Ask Dmitry questions on YouTube. Boom. You too. If you're overreacting. Boom. I should just save that and throw that in all my responses and then just fish. Somebody's on lunch break. Somebody's on lunch. All right, reply to your comment. We're already read that. Let's refresh and then on to the next. Oop. Am I overreacting to considering going no contact with my mom? Oh, damn. That's gotta be pretty bad. What'd she do? I, 34-year-old female, have a neighbor who is obsessive with me for 9 years now. And you still live there after 9 years? Me and the neighbor always used to stop a bit for small talk, but we were never really friends. Out of nowhere, she started ignoring me. We both have kids now, and our kids. Oh, okay. I thought she was like being obsessive with you for 9 years. Oh yeah, she is. That's what she said. We both have kids now, and our kids are going to the same school. Since the beginning, my neighbor has been spreading rumors about me, trying to isolate me and badmouth me to other parents. When that didn't work, she ordered her 6-year-old to bully my daughter. Teach your daughter jiu-jitsu. She'll beat her ass. Like one day, my daughter, who was also 6, came home crying from school that her daughter was calling her stupid and ugly, and she had to say that from her mom. My mom knows all of this. She told me she had a fun conversation with that daughter. Not only do I feel betrayed, I'm also wondering what my neighbor is thinking now. Like, she can badmouth me and bully my child through her child about my grandmother child, but the grandmother will just act nice to her. I'm considering going no contact because, hold on, your mom was nice about it? No, that's way too, to go no contact over that, you're tripping. When that didn't work out, like one day my daughter, who was also 6, came home crying, blah, blah, blah. My mom knows all this, yet she told me today that she had a fun conversation with that neighbor. Not only do I feel betrayed, I'm also wondering what my neighbor is thinking now. Like, she can badmouth me and bully my child through her child with the grandmother. Well, you can't expect your mom not to be nice to the neighbors. She might not be as comfortable. She might not be as comfortable as you with confrontation. Also, going no contact over this would be way overreacting anyway. You're acting like you caught your mom trying to set you up in a, like, yeah. I don't know, trying to set you up to get robbed. Yeah. You can't expect your mom not to be nice to the neighbors. She might not be as comfortable as you are. You are with confrontation. Also, going no contact over this would be way overreacting anyway. You're acting like you caught your mom trying to set you up to get robbed. Like, get real, bitch. Dmitriy questions on YouTube has all the answers. Or so he thinks. He obviously does not have all the answers, but we claim we do. Like, look, skirt the censorship. You see how we put YouTube in there? I know y'all saw that. I'm about to be out for the day. I think we've been on for how long? 45 minutes. 45 minutes. Time to go. Beautiful day. Say hello to your neighbors and friends. What is that on my face? I just realized that. Has that been there the whole show? Oh, wow. Just kidding. Have a great day. Love you all.